Zaion LanZa has been terminated. Let's talk about that. So Nijisanji has been very open and forthcoming with the information about Zaion being suspended and now being forthcoming, which gives us a lot to talk about. So first of all, let's just read over their statement and then we'll move on to the reactions and then we'll move on to my opinion. So first things first, their statement is, "We are sorry to announce that due to the reasons explained in the attached file, we had to make the decision to terminate our contract with the Nijisanji liver Zaion LanZa effective immediately. Thank you for your understanding." Now let's dive into these actual reasons, shall we? Alright, I'm gonna skip all the corpo speak right up top and get straight to the actions. The actions performed by Zaion that led us to this decision are as follows. Using a copyrighted song in her stream without prior authorization. Revealing internal information that can potentially cause issues for stakeholders during their stream. Making statements that could lead to speculation or leaking of internal information using social media accounts that she personally operates during her activity suspension time. Offensive remarks regarding discrimination and sexual assault. Several infringements of the rules pertaining to the use of games as defined by AnyColor, including intentional infringements and repeated false justifications given to AnyColor regarding these infringements. Expressing her will to perform streams using illegal games, as referred to as pirate games. Comments that can be considered offensive to the rights holders of a game during a stream. Giving false information to other Nijisanji livers regarding the contents of her communications with AnyColor. Falsely claiming to have received permission from AnyColor after a viewer commented on Zaion performing an action prohibited by the rules. Falsely claiming to be sponsored by a brand during a stream. Giving likes to comments falling under defamation of Nijisanji livers and AnyColor using social media accounts that she personally operates. And numerous other actions and comments infringing under contract and rules. So that's a lot. There's a lot I want to say about that, but before I say anything, let's hop on over to the community and see how they're responding. Omni chiming in here with, "That's a lot of offenses." Or this user saying, "It's important to remember that whoever wants to apply for a company, you have to realize you gotta follow the rules." Or this take here saying, "It's okay if she didn't fit in with Nijisanji's strict guidelines because the fans are gonna follow her outside of Nijisanji anyway. So clearly this is a good thing for her because she's gonna be free now." And this person saying what I think a lot of us are feeling, "Damn, well I can't say I'm surprised with how long she was suspended," which I believe was over a month at this point. The difference between Zaion and other Nijisanji livers who have broken the corpo's rules is plain as day. Anyone defending Zaion or giving AnyColor shit for this has never worked a real job a day in their lives. Not spreading lies about your company, not openly defying management, not violating copyright law, and not leaking confidential information are pretty normal expectations at any job. She did these things repeatedly. These are the actions of a belligerent woman child. Normally, when a VTuber graduates, there's a huge rush of sadness, there's a huge rush of anger at whatever the source of that termination was. This is probably the first time I've seen a VTuber graduate and seen the entire community go, "Yeah, that makes sense. That was valid." I've genuinely never seen a graduation like this, where like the talent was provably in the wrong and the community agreed. That's wild to me. I've genuinely never seen this in my roughly 1 year of covering VTuber news. So now that we've discussed the community reaction, let's get into my own personal opinion and commentary. Number one, I think as soon as the suspension lasted longer than 2 weeks, we were all fairly confident that this was going to result in a termination. So I think part of the reason people aren't reacting as harshly as they could have is because people saw this coming kind of a mile away. This is anyone who was grieving has already grieved, and all that is left is apathy at this point. Especially considering that Nijisanji gave such a clear and valid list of reasons. Everything they listed is a valid reason to terminate a talent. I mean, just one of those things could easily get a employee terminated at any other company. So the fact that there was such a long list is genuinely wild. Now, I remember that before she got terminated and just got suspended, and they posted that long list of reasons for her suspension, some of the members of the community were up in arms that they were dragging her name through the mud, saying it's not right for a company to, show the reasons for a suspension because it's, making the talent look bad. But after seeing those reasons for the suspension and then the updated list for the termination, I have to say, as someone who does VTuber news, I 100% have to say that I'm very happy that the company is being transparent with the reason for the VTuber termination. Because here's the thing, if all they said was, we're terminating Zaion, she's graduating, and told us nothing, you have to believe that the entire community would be pro Zaion and anti any color, right? It makes sense for any color to disclose these reasons because it shows that they're not just some monstrous corporate overlord who's terminating talents left and right for the slightest misstep. That's not a slight misstep that was covered in that list of reasons. It was valid. So not only is it good for people like me who want to talk and engage about these types of issues, not only is it good for any color and protecting their reputation, it's also just brings a lot of closure to the fans of the talent because now they know, they have closure, they have that understanding. Nobody is confused or argumentative about the reasons for termination. And ultimately, here's the thing, even though they have fully displayed that long list of reasons for her termination, fans of Zaion are probably still gonna follow her to her new persona, whatever that may be. I don't know what she's going to rebrand is or if she's going to rebrand at all, but we've seen in the past VTubers rebrand as an indie with a new name and a new model, and a good chunk of their fan base will follow them over to that new account. And I fully suspect that's going to happen here again. Is she going to lose a large chunk of her fan base? Absolutely. But as soon as her hardcore fans find out who her new persona is, they're all gonna follow. She's gonna build up a fan base all over again, and although not be as profitable or as successful, she will very likely still have a successful career. I don't think losing her job with Nijisanji is going to be a career execution. And in fact, not only do I think she can still find success as an indie, I think it's better for her to be an indie. Because here's the thing, she's too edgy for any color, right? That part is indisputable. And I can understand why a corporation doesn't want someone quite so edgy. But as an indie, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can make edgy jokes. You can talk shit about people with very little consequences. The only person who can cancel you as an indie, ultimately at the end of the day, is you. So I just think she would be happier as an indie. She very clearly didn't vibe with management. I mean, management specifically stated in their public statement that they attempted to train and coach her and she just wasn't willing to cooperate. That was I will show that to you. I mean, it says right here, during the suspensions, we had several discussions with her, including training about compliance. However, her behavior and understanding of the rules did not improve. I mean, if she doesn't want to follow the rules, she should be an indie. This is probably not only an understandable termination, but also the best thing for her. If she doesn't want to follow the rules, then she shouldn't have to. She should be an indie. So normally in a termination, there's a sense of solemnness and gloominess, whereas I see this as a net positive. I think this is ultimately the best thing for her. And despite the fact that she has committed all of these offenses that the company hates, I still wish her success as a new talent, because none of these offenses are unforgivable in my opinion, with perhaps the exception of leaking sensitive corporate information. That part is pretty that one's pretty not okay. But like copyrighted songs, pirating games, not following the rules, not listening to management, I don't give a shit. I don't care. Those are not unforgivable in my opinion, and I highly doubt any of her fans will find it unforgivable as well. So That's the news, the community opinion, my opinion. Let me know your opinion in the comments down below. I'll be making a second video today with some unrelated news. I just wanted to leave this as the main topic of this video because I know if I tried to cover multiple topics, this one story would dominate the entire conversation. Anyway, thank you for your attention. Bye, guys.